Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. It's 1937 and it's time for us to build the biggest attractions and bring forward the biggest crowds in the Grand Carnival. In the game, each player is going to have 7 rounds or a week, 7 days, to build up the grounds where their carnival will be, get the best attractions, and have customers walk through buying tickets. You'll be scoring based on a variety of things, but your turns and the things you can do are very straightforward, very quick. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it on the table. I'm going to show you how it works. Then we'll come on back up here and I'll tell you if this is a carnival you're going to want to visit. In this overview, I'm going to be showing you only the area for one player. This would be the area for the red player. They have their board. 5 of these pawns off to the side. 3 more in the reserve. This is also the start player piece, so this player will be the start player. And then we have 1 guest at each of the entry spots on their board. Now, the rest of these components are the common components. This common board tracking the days, i.e. the rounds in the game. And then we've got these pieces up here that we are going to use to build the grounds on which we put the attractions. These are the attractions over here. The amounts vary based on the number of players. And then I put these out here just to show you that everybody's little workers, little pieces are different per player. They're also a little fragile. Some of them are, as you might be able to tell, pretty thin. They have a few thin spots, and I did get a handful of broken ones. As well as these little guests, that's the guys here at the entrance. They are very fragile, and they have a lot of little broken pieces, all right? They can just kind of, in fact, this little guy sort of has a little foot coming off. That just happened right now. I don't know if you can tell, but a little piece just fell off of him. Anywho, I've got these barkers over here, and then we've got 3 special abilities from a handful of cards here. We're going to put 3 of them out, and if players accomplish them, they are going to get special, rules bending and rules breaking abilities to use in the game. That's what these 3 extra guys are for. Once you achieve one, you'll mark it. Okay? So let's talk about how the game works. Like I said, you'll be playing over 7 days. And the objective is to build up the grounds, to put attractions into play, and to have your guests walk through, visit the different places, buy these tickets for the different places, and maybe eventually make it up here to the big top. You'll be scoring based on sets of attractions. If you have a bunch of the same, you're going to be getting victory points for that, as long as they have some tickets, okay? You are going to be getting attractions. If you have 1 of each size, you'll be getting points for that. That one requires the tickets. The other one doesn't necessarily. Guests in the big top. And then also any uncovered building hammer is going to lose you points. And the barkers here are going to make you some points. So, I'm going to be the start player, like I said. On my turn, I am going to select one of these. I'm going to move it over to the numbered spot. And I am going to take 1 of 3 different actions. My actions are, I can place a foundation, I can build an attraction, or I can move a guest. Place a foundation. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put them there, and I can build a foundation of level 3, because this is 3, or lower. So I could take this one, and I am going to play it right there. Then we are going to replenish these up here. I'm going to slide the remaining ones to the right here of the spot I took, and then pick 1 from here and put it in the 5 to refill it. So that's my first option. The other players will go. Maybe they'll take the second player takes that, and we replenish this. And the third player uses the 1, and they can take a face down one. That way they can just take whatever. Okay, they take that one. Okay, and they build it. Now, if you take a face down, you are allowed to cycle these out of here. Just keep that in mind. Comes back around to me. We're simulating a 3-player game here. Again, my 2 other options are, besides building this, I can build an attraction or I can walk my guests. Building an attraction, very simple. In this case, let's assume I've already jumped up a couple of turns here. I did that one. Let's say that was on, I don't know where I took it from. Let's say it was on 4, okay? And now it comes back around to me. I'm going to build an attraction. I want to build in these spots here. These are paths for my characters to walk through. These are places where I can build. Now this is 4. I could build one of these. It's the right shape. It's the right size. And my 4 is already taken, but I can pay for that with my 5. So again, it's always whatever the number is you spent or lower is what you can put out there. So I can put that right there. Great. And then again, like I said, as my people walk, I'll spend the 1 to have him walk 1. Wherever he stops, anything he's adjacent to, he will put a ticket on that attraction. Each attraction can hold as many tickets as their size. This one will be able to hold 4 tickets. So no matter where I stop around it, so next time I go like that, and he moves 1, 2, I'll add another ticket to it somewhere. It doesn't really matter where. But it can hold 4, okay? And as soon as I have moved both of them, so let's say he's moved up here, and now both of my entryways are empty, immediately, whenever that happens, immediately I am going to grab a barker from the pool, assuming there are any left. I'll put that barker somewhere, and then I'm going to refill both my entries with 2 new visitors. All right? Now, what's the barker do? Well, it gets me victory points, but it also does 2 other things. It's going to block whatever spot he's sitting on, so you got to be careful. These guests and barkers can never walk through each other unless we deal with some rules bending, like I said. But also, when you use a spot to move a worker, to move a guest, they can move 1 further spot by based on the barkers, for every 1 barker you've got. So again, for example, assuming I could move as much as I want to, if I did this, and I have 1 barker, I can move the guest 3 spaces, not just 2, right? Okay, so once everybody's built all 5 of these, we are going to take them all off, remove them to the side, we advance the day, we pass the start player marker to the next player, and we do it again. That's it. Extremely quick, extremely straightforward turns. So, the only thing I really haven't talked about very much are these cards up here. So, like I said, it's 3 random cards. They have 2 parts. The top, how you accomplish the thing they want you to accomplish, what you need to do. The bottom, what special ability they give you once you've done so. If I've accomplished this one in this case is move a guest to the big top. Great. Let me just simulate how I would get one up there, shall we? I'm just going to do this randomly just to show you what that might look like. This is probably like the longest path. By the way, these cannot be rotated. I don't know if you're noticing that. But I cannot just willingly rotate these. This is probably, again, not necessarily the way I would do this. But I'm going to do it just to show you what is happening and what I'm talking about. Eventually, if this looks like so, this guy could move up here, especially with some barkers in play. I can probably run him up there. He can come up the top. He's now at the big top, all right? This one, as soon as I have somebody at the big top, these characters can no longer have to follow the rule that they cannot walk through each other. I can now have them do that. Now, as soon as I accomplish this, I put a worker on it. One of my 3 extra guys. Everybody else has their following turn to accomplish this as well. If they do not, then it's just me who did it, right? Anybody else who does accomplish it, great. They also have that special ability. Okay? So that's one of them. Let's see. Let's just look at a couple here, right? This one over here, as soon as you finish a row. So as soon as I get 4 across anywhere, I'm going to then, from that point on, every time I play one of these face down ones, I can look at them and then take one. Over here we've got, as soon as I build an attraction that encompasses 3 foundations, goes across 3 foundations, great. I am going to ignore my score penalty for revealed hammers at the end of the game. So each one costs you 1 normally. If I have my little guy on here, I don't pay for those. So you definitely want to cover them, right? Each one of these is 1. Any of these that are still exposed, well, those are 1 as well. So there you go. That's basically that. You are trying to get everything out there built. Make sure that you cover them up. Put some tickets on them, because if you have 15 or more tickets in play, you will get 12 points. And try to come out on top. There's a lot of different things to sort of focus on, and you will not be able to do them all. But you are just trying to get the best score you can from the ones you do choose to focus on. That's going to be it for my overview. I hope that all makes sense. It's a fairly straightforward concept, like I said, with a lot of player aids and everything all over the place. Let's go ahead and go back up top. Scoring pad, by the way. Let's go ahead and go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of this one. There are a lot of games that do what this game does, at least on a surface level, right? Games in which you have a board in front of you, you are grabbing polyominoes and building them up and putting something together, right? There are tons of those, probably too many of those. And I tend to like that style, but this one, I have to say, really stands out from the crowd by being not just a fun polyomino game, but a thematically vibrant and engaging one that is both quick and simple, but thinkier than the average polyomino game. For me, I really like this game. I really like it. I think it's fantastic. So let's go ahead and talk about it, shall we? A little bit more. I'm going to start right at the top with the theme. Like I said, it's so charming, it's so whimsical, so wholesome. I love it. The theme here is fantastic and really works in what it is you are doing in the game. And then folding right into that, the aesthetics, which I think are, except for the meeples, yes, they're too frail. They went a little too thin and tiny with some of their designs. You know, I give the company props for trying that. The wood quality doesn't hold up to those designs. But besides that, everything else is so beautiful. It's so captivating. It all clearly fits in the same world, right? That same view. That I think the aesthetics here are great. I really like them. The replay value. This is so fun. Any number of players you're going to have a good time with. Scales well. You are going to have turns come around so quickly that you'll always be thinking about something. There's a nice turn angst, so that's going to keep it sort of coming back to the table for you. And you can definitely follow a few different paths to, hopefully, victory. So I think that replay value is going to stay high from game to game. The game arc, good tension. Always one more thing you want to do. The week always seems to run out before you're ready for it to run out. Oh, I needed one more action, a little more extra moment. And I love that. That's what you want, right? You want that feeling of, I could have done something better. If I had an extra moment, an extra worker, if I'd been a little bit quicker to achieve that bonus. And I find that just so compelling and engaging. So game arc here, again, fantastic. Ease of play, so quick, such simple, straightforward turns. I love that the cadence of the game, cleaning up from one round to the next. You push the 5 guys over past the start pawn. That's it. That is it. And you are playing the next round already. Besides setting up, this game is lightning fast. Not that the setup is, particularly long. I just mean putting out all the tiles and everything, figuring out the polyominoes, all of that stuff. Everything else every turn is just so quick. I love that about it. Lastly, tactics, luck, strategy. I like that you can wipe away the tiles that form your foundation if you need to. If you feel like they're getting stagnant, you can take an action and get rid of those, which is nice. I know some polyomino games that sort of stagnates a little bit. Tactically rich. It's a lot of sort of reacting to seeing a tile up there that you think, oh, this is great. I can place this here and run my visitors up this path. being careful not to cut off their path up to the big top if that's something you're going for. There's so many little things to focus on. I'm just going to put a bunch of tickets out. I'm going to try to go for these the large attractions. I'm going to try to get 3 of the 5s. That's a bunch of points if you can pull that off. I'm going to try to get 1 of each. I'm going to make sure that I get at least one of those bonuses. I like that bonus. I'm going to try for that first. So it gives you kind of a nudge at the beginning of the game, those 3 special abilities, right? I think that's so vital because you look at those and you go, ooh, the first thing I want to try to do, besides, everything else I'm trying to achieve is get a row across. Okay, great. If I do that, then I get that bonus for the rest of the game. So that gives you direction and incentive. The whole thing is perfectly paced. I think it's just a slam dunk, this game. Except for the meeples, like I said, and except for the fact that, yes, it is another polyomino game, right? This is possibly my favorite of that kind of game. The 2 layers you're building on is so engaging. I love that about it. So, yeah, I really like this one. This is going to get a 9 out of 10 from me. Seal of excellence. I definitely recommend it. This is going to be good for a lot of folks. It's got solo play in there. It's going to scale well, like I said. It's both quick and easy to play with just about anybody, but you can dig into it and try to squeeze out a better score than someone else in a head-to-head or a more interesting, more thinky match. You'll get it. So there you go, 9 out of 10 from me. The Grand Carnival is a fantastic game. I definitely recommend it. And that's it for me, everybody. My name is Z Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.